Hello and welcome to my review of the Battlezone Manufactorum Sanctum Administratus. One of these ruined buildings will set you back £50. It's a large building made up of two constituent ruined pieces of terrain, of which I've got the other piece right here. I don't know why I missed that out, maybe because you couldn't see it if I put it behind it, but there we go. I did do the unboxing of it. I think it's a lot of money, but it is a large building. It's going to look fantastic on a Realm of Battle Sector Imperialis. If you weren't already aware, you can pick the whole Realm of Battle board. You can pick the whole Realm of Battle game board up, which consists of 6 2-foot by 2-foot detail plastic tiles from Element Games, using my affiliate link below, for £170, which is quite fantastic for a fully detailed board, and by doing so you'll also help the channel out, produce new content. So it's going to look fantastic on one of those boards. And it shares a lot of aesthetics with the other Sector Imperialis scenery kits, such as the Manufactorum and the Ruins and the Sanctum, as well as the Basilicanum, which is my personal favourite. I never purchased that, but I'd like to one day get hold of some of those scenery kits and give you full unboxings and reviews. Now, the interesting point about this is you get the instruction guide, which is a full colour one. It's fine, it's of a decent quality. However, there are mistakes. There are definitely mistakes in the B's and the G's, the way they describe them. They've got them swapped round. Some of the pieces are clearly not G's and some of them aren't B's, but it does the job. Also, I would have liked them to have made a note here in terms of the first floor and the second floor. It specifically tells you to sort of glue them on there. You don't have to glue them on at all. You can leave that separate, so you'd be left with 2 buildings. However, it is going to look a bit odd having nothing on there or nothing on the top. So yeah, but you do have options at least. I think what you could do is place this extra bit of ruin on the first floor and then just keep that ruin on the top, but they never really go into any detail about how to do that and give you options of making the most out of this scenery. Another very interesting point I want to make is it says design in the UK, made in China, so that goes against what they're telling you. I don't know whether you can view that as a lie or misrepresentation, but still on the back of the box it says made in the UK. The instruction guide says made in China. So what is it? Is the instruction guide made in China, but the box is made in the UK? Where's the building then made? I think it's safe to say, if you see Games Workshop now put made in the UK, pretty much is made in China. For the scenery kits at least. I hope they don't try and pull this one with the normal miniatures and say that it's made in UK, but it's actually made in China. They've been quite transparent, and I don't know why they're now trying to hide the fact that these kits are made in China, because personally I've never had any issues with them. They've been fine kits. There's not really been any problems. They've had the mold lines that usual plastic kits have. They have the darker plastic, which is typically made in China, but I don't know why they're now trying to hide this. It's a bit worrying. I'd rather them be open and transparent about the whole product than hide things. So that's a little bit worrying moving forward. It doesn't bode well in my eyes for future releases. Where are these products actually being made, and can you believe what's written on the box? It doesn't sit well with me, this strategy, whatever they're trying to pull here. Anyway, moving on from that, it's a good detailed box. It's got the new 9th edition Warhammer 40K logo on the top. On the top of it, you've got some detail here. Unfortunately, what it's missing, which it greatly needs, is some kind of paint guide. They do promote the paint guide there on the citadelcolour.com guides, but it would have been nice to have some kind of you know, key of what greys and what reds and what whites they use for the kit, like they do in all of the other kits that they have. Let's have a look at the model itself then, and the detail. As I said before, you know, there's no reason why you can't just plop this there and use this as a second building, and I would suggest you do that. I did glue mine down just because I want a big tall building, and because I think it looks cool next to Titans and things, and I want the tallest, biggest scenery possible. It weighs a fair bit, it's a bit chunky, the plastic is solid, there's enough detail around the whole kit to keep you occupied. There's lots of rivets to paint and places to shade and dials and valves and shutters and metal work. I'm really at a puzzle to what to spray it. I kind of want to spray it lead belcher and then pick out some of the other detail, but at the same time I want the doors and things a certain colour, like red. There's lots of skulls around the kit. Like I say, loads of detail. It just does the job as a scenery kit. We'll have a look at the most recent Battlefield expansion set, the Command Edition, where you've got the new ruined buildings as well. We'll compare that in a moment. But yeah, what I really do like is, and you can't see it, is the bent metal skeleton frame on the underside of these platforms. And definitely here, I like the crack along the middle of the platform with the steel girders showing. The mould lines, yeah, you can see that there are mould lines there. They're easily taken off, and you can do that after you've built it, which is what I'm going to do before I spray it, but it may be a while before I even do that. Anyway, so yeah, it's quite a tall building. We'll do some size comparisons a bit later on as well, but yeah, you get this extra bit too, which is a decent size, decent height cover, to be fair. And then these are the spare parts. We'll just go down a little look at these. So you get a couple of these pieces, which I'm not sure whether you could use these. Maybe you could put that on there, but it'd look a bit odd. You've got this archway, which there's only one archway here. I guess you could probably put it there or towards the back of the building, but it doesn't tell you to use these or these even. But you could have them on bases. Nothing stopping you putting them on bases. You also get these light things. I don't really know what they're for or where they go on to. I thought that you could put them on the sides. I guess you can. But again, the instruction guide doesn't really say where to use these or where to put them on. And yeah, you get a couple of these extra pieces too, which would normally go in the pillars. So they're all the spare parts. Not a lot of spare parts there. Okay, so let's just compare this kit with some other scenery pieces, and we'll compare it with the slightly more expensive, slightly thicker Command Edition Battlefield expansion set, which does include a reversible mat as well. So that might be your better go-to option, because you get a number of different scenery pieces in this kit, and the detail is definitely there, if not more detail, I would say. But you get one of these, and you get one of these, and then you get this big thing as well, and you get lots of pipe work. You get a couple of more extra bits of ruins. So yeah, and you get all the pipe work and things as well. These really nice Promethean pipes with the kit, along with an actual battle mat as well. So the go-to kit is most likely this Command Edition for Battlefield expansion set, but they share a lot of aesthetics, you know, with the pillars, with the destroyed beauty, the broken pieces. You've actually got more detail on here, but you haven't got any detail underneath, which is a bit poor. But yeah, you've got more detail there with the bent and broken steel works and things, so that's great. And I actually would think you get more detail. There's so many more rivets and things on the inside, and you get these two extra bits and this this pipeline. So this is where the Administratus building compares size-wise to the subcloister and storage fane. These are the subcloister and storage fanes. They are not even up to the first level. It's a bit of an odd size really, but it's decent to put dreadnoughts and other taller units. I think even the Canoptech reanimator could fit under there. I haven't got it nearby, but again, a larger ceiling there as well. I'm not sure why you need ceilings that high in this Administratus building. I think it's quite cool though. Personally, I would have preferred a 3-tier building. Maybe we'll get one later on, which has 1, 2, 3 floors rather than these two. But it is what it is. It's a tall building, especially compared to these, but they do share some aesthetics, and they would go very well on your normal battlefield. Maybe one side has these and the other has the Administratus, or maybe the Administratus as an objective, and you have that building in the middle of the board. While I was recording this video, I thought it'd be a decent time to show you the size of it compared to the Sanctum Imperialis, and it's actually the same height as the Sanctum Imperialis for the Sisters of Battle, which conversely costs an extra £20. It's £70, but they are, yeah, the same height at least. I think the Sanctum Imperialis has got, well, it's got less floor space, put it that way. So yeah, you can fit more Primaris or Necrons or whoever on these two floors, whereas the Sanctum Imperialis, it yeah, doesn't have the extra floor space on that first floor to fire out of the windows. The shutters or whatever on the Administratus are open. There's more areas to fire from. I think the Sanctum Imperialis though is specifically designed to have Saint Celestine statue in the middle of it rather than on top, but it is possible you could have it on the top there. But I thought I'd make that comparison between this £70 kit right here, if you were on the fence about which one to get. I mean, there is more detail on the Sanctum Imperialis, and you do get this little balcony area, and you get the statue of Saint Celestine. But in terms of size-wise and for value, you may well be better going for the Administratus. The last couple of size comparisons I'd like to make before I move on to like Space Marines and Necron size comparisons is just with a Unitarum armoured container, and also the STC ruins, which are, well, terrible compared to your normal subcloister and fane ruins. I mean, they hardly have any detail at all on them, and I guess they don't really fit well with this aesthetic either, but this is purely to give you an idea of the size, if you've got some STC ruins, of just how big this Administratus building is. It's much bigger than I thought it would be, but if you were to purchase another one, it's going to look very samey unless you opt for having it just one level and doing what I suggested right at the start of having the extra ruin part on here and having this part of the building as just one floor. That's one way of getting around both of the scenery kits looking the same. And so the final size comparison I'd like to make is just with the usual 3 models. So as you can see here, we've got a Legacy Space Marine, Sly Marbo, and a Primaris. We've also got a pretty much painted Necron Warrior. If I just zoom down a little bit, you can see them a bit better. So this is where they stand. Necron Warrior is, you can just poke his head through there. The Space Marine, Sly Marbo, Primaris. I mean, Primaris through the windows, that works quite well, and the Eradicators would work well. It would look really, really cool with Primaris peeping through. Comparing it to this piece of scenery, as you can see, the Necrons can see over, and so can the Primaris. So they're in a nice decent cover. I mean, if you've got 5 of them, they'd probably be in cover. I'm not sure about 10, but yeah, you can also fit a fair few on the top. Definitely at least 3 Primaris up there, and possibly you could even squeeze in 5 Devastators. Definitely 5 Devastators on this panel, if that's what you're going for. And that's pretty much it for my review of the Sanctum Administratus, because there aren't really any rules other than the usual cover rules for being inside a building. It's a bigger kit than I expected it to be. I wasn't expecting it to be this tall and big, and looking back on it, I know I said I probably wish it was £40 or so, but actually it's about right. You know, charging an extra £20 for the Sister of the Battle Sanctum Imperialis with the statue really shows the value you're getting with this building. I mean, whether you're going to buy 1 or 2 of them, it's going to dominate your battlefield. It's taller than a Warhound Titan. Don't know why, but I just have one there, as usual. So, you know, if that's the goal, to have some scenery that surrounds Warhounds, the smallest Titan, then yeah, this will fit the bill, definitely. I wasn't expecting that much with the scenery piece, but this has exceeded my expectations, and I think it's a good kit, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. But what do you guys think of the Sanctum Administratus? Please do put it in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.